Hello and welcome to Scottish Car Enthusiasts and Trains TV review of 2021. So we're just going to take a wee look at the highlights of the channel over the course of the last year. At the time of filming this video, I have uploaded 220 videos to YouTube over the year. So let's take a wee look back and start off in January. So in January we hit our 100 subscriber special, where we took a trip to the car cave in Bonnyrigg, where we got to have a walk round of a Fiesta RS 1800. So this was a trip down memory lane for myself. My granddad had a Mark III Ford Fiesta, not an RS 1800, but a more poverty spec one at the time. So it was like taking a wee trip back in memory lane for myself and getting to have a look around an RS 1800 and a Mark III Fiesta in general. Really did enjoy having a walk round and get reacquainted with the Mark III. Also in January, our family car, the Skoda Fabia, failed its MOT. You might be wondering why it failed its first MOT. It's because I'm an idiot and I'd done something a few years ago, probably when the car was about 6 months old, and thinking at the time I probably would have sold the car on by then. I presented it for its MOT and they found my bodge work on the headlight, where I'd super glued the headlight bulb into the light unit. So that was a fail and an expensive lesson learned, which I'm still paying for today. At the moment I'm still paying for it. So I had to take money out of my savings to get a new headlight unit, and I'm just paying that back into my savings account. So there we go, that was January, or some of the highlights in January. In February, we decided to build a Lego GTR racing car, which I'll just go and get at the moment. So I don't know if you can see that, but that is the Lego Nissan GTR that we built back in February. That seems like a lifetime ago, because I can remember filming it, and I thought, oh, it'll take maybe half an hour to build this. Now, we were looking at, I think in total time it took us 2 or 3 hours to build this car. Needless to say, I've not bought another Lego kit, and I don't intend buying any more of a series of these cars you can build up, like it's a Porsche and a Ferrari. But it was a good wee challenge, and it was frustrating, and it was also quite relaxing as well. So we're now going to move into March. So we're now into March of 2021, and I'll look back at the year of Scottish Car Enthusiasts and Trains TV. And in March, we took a look back at a year's ownership of a Nissan Qashqai that I owned. You might remember that the Ford Rover 75 had a silver Nissan Qashqai with BTCC inspired graphics from the Primera touring car. And this was just like a look back at the costs of the car, how much it cost to run, excuse my English there, how much it cost to run, modifications that carried out on it, past its MOT, servicing costs and the like. Unfortunately that car was sold on in the September of that year, but we'll come back to that later on in the report. In the month of April, we done a video on my car history from my very first car, a 1998 Nissan Micra, right through to the car that I presently had at the time, the Nissan Qashqai. We also started a new series, which never really took off because I never really had the time to do it and to do research on it. And that was the car stories, starting with the Escort Mark 5 and 6. With the later nights coming in, we started attending the car meets. We started off with a Rev Nation mini meet. I think it was a Sheriff Hall parking ride in Edinburgh. And I'll just chuck in a few photos of some of the cars that I enjoyed on the night. April was a really busy month for Scottish car enthusiasts in Trains TV. And the next part of April, we done a wee challenge. It was originally set on the Joseph Lloyd Vehicle Consulting channel. It was called the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire Car Challenge. This was to purchase a car from the price range on the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire scoreboard. So I think you started off at £500 and worked your way up to £1 million. There was a few interesting choices on there, and I think, if I mind right, the rules were it had to have a valid MOT was one of the main rules, and had to be within that price bracket. If you want to see that challenge, then why not have a look back through the back catalogue on the channel to see my choices on the challenge. We also carried out our second car review, or walk round, back at the Car Cave in Bonnyrigg. This time we looked at an Austin Metro City X. This was a lovely little car. Picture's coming up now. This was a lovely little car. The first time I'd been sort of close to an Austin Metro, or Metro. The name varies depending on the year. And it was good just to see how far we've progressed from the small car from the 1980s to now. The Super Mini is not that small anymore. It's probably more on size with an original Mark I Ford Focus. It's what Super Mini would be classed as now. But it's just so nice to go back and have a look at an old car. And the Metro didn't disappoint at all. It was a cracking little car. Whoever's bought that car, He's got himself a cracking little car. We also popped along to Lothian Cruiser's first meet, again at Sheriff Hall Park and Ride in Edinburgh. And I'll just put up some of the cars that I thought were quite nice on the night. And to the end of the month of April, we attended the Edinburgh Cruise and Rev Nation's Mega Meet. This meet put the car scene in the Edinburgh area back on the map that night. Edinburgh Cruise brought along a DJ, so and I think it was on the back of a recovery truck. They set up a DJ on the recovery truck and they were playing tunes for most of the night. It was a really busy night. With lockdown happening in 2020, I think a lot of people couldn't get out in their cars. If there was any little meets, they were just tiny wee things. It was so good just to see so many clubs from across Scotland actually come up or through to Edinburgh to come along to the first big meet of the year. It's an epic night. There was some donuts, I believe, carried out, burnouts, and just the sort of general sort of things you would see in the car scene. If you want to see more of that, there is a video on the channel, but I'll put up a few pictures now of the Edinburgh Cruise and Rev Nation's Mega Meet now. Some of the cars that I enjoyed. Into May. May was Modified Scotland's first birthday, and that was up in RGM in Glenrothes. Again, another massive night. I popped up there, the weather, I think, if I mind right, I think it's pretty rubbish. I think it'd been raining, and it was a bit mucky up there. And the first thing I knew about the meet was when we got to sort up to Glenrothes, the last couple of roundabouts at Glenrothes, and we were queuing to get into the industrial site. Again, another massive night for RGM's birthday bash. It was also the first time I'd actually got spotted by a guy, Grant from Scottish Car Clan, spotted me filming. And you're a guy off YouTube, aren't you? So it's good to be, that's my first time I'd been recognised out and about. And that was a cracking good night. Scottish Car Enthusiasts, our Facebook page, got involved with a few other clubs in May as well to send out the message of keep it static. Basically, there was an incident, I think it was in Dundee, where somebody had got hit by a car, basically trying to kick out at a car or something like that, and a car reversed on over the top of them or something like that. So a few clubs, or the majority of the clubs, put up a note saying meets should be static. If you want to do burnouts, do it elsewhere, sort of thing. But these meets are family friendly events. We don't want to risk having any injuries. And it also paints a bad picture on the car scene in Scotland as well. These sort of incidents are happening, and the police can just come in and clamp them down. And I also just missed out, I'll put up some pictures now of RGM Mega Meet for Modify Scotland's first birthday. May also brought out the series of the A1 from Berwick to Edinburgh. We followed the Great North Road, the A1, as I said, from Berwick all the way to the Balmoral Hotel in Edinburgh. This had been a series that I'd been planning for a while, and initially I started filming it back in November 2019. Unfortunately, COVID put paid to that idea in 2020, which meant I couldn't finish it. It was only sort of back into 2021 when restrictions were a lot less, but I managed to get out and start filming it again. So I think I can't remember how I'd done it, but each Saturday or Sunday morning I would go out in the cars, either the Skoda or the Nissan, and film a section of the A1. I think we done, mine serves me right, 15 minutes a video. So I would basically film every week. I'd go out, film 15 minutes on the A1. So I started from Edinburgh and worked my way down. So I think the first one was Joe to Haddington, and then we worked from Haddington to, funny film, it was Dunbar, and it was just north of Berwick. We filmed another section, and then got to Berwick, then we filmed back. That was quite an experience, and it was quite something I quite enjoyed doing. Just getting out in the cars. I mean, just getting out, exploring the scenery, seeing what's on the A1. And yeah, it probably cost me a lot of money in petrol on both cars. But combined, we nearly done, each time I was going out, I'd done a combined, even though the route's only 56 miles, I think I'd done a combined mileage of nearly 300 just going up and down to film where I'd left off from the last time. So if you want to see up the A1 series, just have a look in the playlists, and I think it's called the A1 Berwick to Edinburgh. And we're also probably going to do another series on a road, probably sometime next year, but I don't know what road. I mean, we could do something like the A7 from Edinburgh to Carlisle. That probably would take a bit more research, or we could just do, or I could do Carlisle, sorry, not Carlisle, Edinburgh to the Scottish border on A7. And interestingly enough, there is a Scottish car enthusiast sticker on the border sign at the border between England and Scotland on the A7. I said in April we went to the Edinburgh Cruise and Rev Nations Mega Meet. Well, Clean Scene came along and put on another epic night at the A1 Industrial Estate in Edinburgh for the Clean Scene season opener. Again, another packed night where we basically filled the whole industrial estate from top to bottom. I don't know if you know the A1 Industrial Estate. It's in Edinburgh, but they filled the whole estate. Every car park was full of quality cars. Again, a DJ on site, an ice cream van, burger van. And again, it was a nice chilled night. There was no sillies. Again, it was a static meet. And I think at that meet, I took a picture of an old grotty Rover maybe. I think it might be in that meet. People wanted to take a picture of an old scabby looking Rover. And there's other nice cars to look at. It was something I've not seen in a while and I wanted to take a picture. Anyway, another brilliant night out there. And I'll put up some of the best cars that I've thought of on the night right now. Towards the end of May and into June, the bank holiday weekend, we done 2 back-to-back car reviews. We started the weekend with test driving a Ford Fiesta 1.1, current generation Fiesta 1.1, on Saturday, and on the Monday we test drove the Vauxhall Corsa. So what car did I prefer? Well, I think what you should do is go and check out the Bearded Driver car reviews and check both these test drives out and see which one I preferred. It might actually surprise you.